The American chestnut. All right, so we have a situation here where we have two species that look very similar to each other. They belong to the same genus, the chestnut genus. One of them is native, like the Chinese chestnut, to Eurasia, and the other one is native to North America, right? And we've got the big Atlantic Ocean in between. How did it happen that we have these two so similar species, even though there's a big Atlantic Ocean in between where they grow today? Got any geology folks here? Anything like that?
Something floated across the ocean.
No, it didn't. They didn't float across the ocean. That was a good long distance dispersal.
Chestnuts.
Birds don't carry chestnuts. They're too heavy, right? So if we think, sorry.
Before the continent split.
Right, before the continent split. So if we think geologically, there was a time when the North American continent and the Eurasian continent were one big sort of northern body, which was called Laurasia. And before that, Laurasia was connected to everybody else in Pangaea. But we'll just do the Laurasia part, all right? So when Laurasia existed at that geological time, it's easy to imagine that there were many different kinds of plants where there was a very wide distribution of the same kind of species, maybe going across the whole thing, right? Then we have continental drift, and we gradually develop this barrier to reproduction between what's ever in North America and what's ever in Eurasia. And then we have millions of years or hundreds of thousands of years at least of evolution to happen. So that's a botanical explanation for why we have two very similar species that are growing so far apart from each other, right? And there are lots of botanical examples of that kind of thing. That whole process is also one of the reasons that, from the North American perspective, a lot of our pests of plants are brought over by people. They come from Eurasia. And so an example of that is the chestnut blight, which came to America in the 1930s and pretty much wiped out the American chestnuts, which before then had been one of the dominant trees in the eastern deciduous forest. Good news about that is that even though we have chestnuts take a long time to work with to grow, there's been a lot of work done to try to develop hybrids between the Asian chestnut and the American chestnut that have mostly American chestnut characteristics but are resistant to the blight. And so we have those.
Chestnut resistant?
Yeah, yeah. And so we have those now, and the class of 2016 actually planted a little group of them to be their class tree. It's over by Walker Fieldhouse, and we've got them all in little wire cages because the deer like to eat them, and they're just little bitty trees right now. We're also using the hybrid chestnut in a land restoration project that's going on the ecological preserve. Back in the 90s, Vassar allowed a composting company to use part of the land out there. We thought composting was a good idea. We should help out with that. Turned out that the people who ran the company weren't very, they were a little unscrupulous, and they did some things that weren't so good to the land, but we're trying to bring it back. Okay? So.
And someday the right mutation may happen that an American chestnut will be resistant to that blight, and then it was a beloved tree, and definitely would have been known to the Lenape and managed by the Lenape. Much easier to get food for good calories from a chestnut than working on those acorns. So.
All right.